Hey everybody, welcome to our channel, The Plumbing Gurus. My name is Clayton. On this channel, we strive to save you money and keep you informed on all the proper plumbing practices. As you can probably tell, my truck and trailer is a complete mess. We live in Calgary. Weather goes from like minus 30 to plus 10. And every time I go to the car wash, there seems to be a big lineup of semis because I got this trailer behind me and I don't feel like waiting hours on end to get a car wash. So I got to deal with this mess here for a bit, but I think one of these days I got to get in there and get it washed. Anyway, so we are doing this project here. There's 4 houses that we're doing. There's 2 single dwelling houses on each side, and there is a duplex in the center. I'm gonna go through and do a walkthrough with you on what we did here and how we plumbed these in from ground up. These are infill, so they're a little different than your standard new build. We also ran Uponor pipe in these for the first time in these houses, so we'll also be touching base on that. And another cool thing we did on these houses is we ran 4-inch from where it comes in through the city and up through the joist, and we tied everything from the house to 4-inch. So that's something else that we've never done before. So stay tuned, guys. Come check this out. Let's roll. All right, so we're on the top floor of the duplex section on this build here. We're gonna be discussing the process of the plumbing that we've done. We're gonna start with the vent. So when we're roughing in a house, what we always start with is we go, okay, vents in the basement, where are they located? Vents on the main floor that we need, where are those located? And by that I mean, is there a sink? Is there a bathroom group, etc.? I'm sure you guys understand what I'm talking about. So from there, we'll start planning the top floor and start working our way down for our vents. First thing we start with is our 3-inch stack. So in this area here, we started our 3-inch stack right in this 2x6 wall that they left us. A 2x4 wall won't be big enough for 3-inch fittings, so make sure you have a 2x6 wall that you're gonna start with. So we just ran our stack straight up. You can see there's no offsets, bends. You don't have to run 3-inch through the rafters. It's just straight up. In the basement, this is a slab on grade, or sorry, this is a infill. So the services, I'll show you in the basement, the services come in above the concrete floor. So we have a lift station in the basement that's catching the basement and pumping it into the service. I'll show you guys that. So this is why we have a 2-inch vent branching off our 3-inch stack at the top there, our vent stack. So this here runs 2-inch. This is to vent our lift station in the basement. So from there, we have 1.5 inches. So we came across this way. We didn't realize there's a bathroom fan going in the center here. So we had to come in after, relocate this vent over. So that's why this does this kind of weird offset here. And then it offsets here, drops down to here. So essentially what we do is we'll start off from the top, the venting, and then we'll work our way down. You can see all of our vents, we try to aim them straight to everything. In this case, we couldn't because the rafters are in the way here. And then we'll run a vent that way for the master, run a vent this way for, there's another bathroom over here. And then this vent, I'll show you on the main floor, but this vent picks up the bathroom, the half bathroom on the main floor. All right, so we'll quickly jump into this bathroom here. So when you're drilling anything through the floor, you wanna make sure, for one, there's no joist or there's no beam that you're gonna be running through. So, of course, what they did in this bathroom here is they have an LVL beam that runs right underneath this 2x6 wall. A 2x6 wall is a plumbing wall. I don't know why they would build a plumbing wall above any sort of joist or beam or anything. Usually all these walls below her are in the center of a joist space. Boggles my mind, but these are the things you have to deal with, and these are the things you have to check. You just don't automatically start drilling holes. So what we have here is we have a sink, toilet, and a shower. I'm gonna dive a little bit into this. I'm not gonna go too into depth. We just set our shower to whatever the builder wanted us to set it to. Our shower drain, we don't glue them in. So this here can come right out. This is for the guys doing the shower base. so they can tie in all their stuff and we don't have to come back and glue or connect the shower drain. They deal with all that. And so yeah, as you can see, what we had to do is we had to run the water lines up in front of that LVL, and then we just kind of tucked them in. So this is going to be a floating vanity here, but what they're going to do is they're going to build a false back for the vanity. So all those water lines and everything will be, and the drainage will be covered with a little false back underneath the vanity. Pretty basic. We just come down here with 1.5 inches. This goes to 2 inch, which is going to be wet venting our our shower and our toilet. And we just came up in 3/4 inch Uponor PEX and just teed off and ran our lines up. One thing we like to always do is we always run our hot on top and we run our cold on the bottom. That's just something we started doing years ago, and it's if you're roughing in a house, you're never guessing which is hot, which is cold. You always know the top is the hot, cold is the bottom. And if you got somebody new or you're training somebody and they're doing something and they're like, oh, which one is hot, which one is cold? It's like, dude, you should know. Top is always hot, bottom's always cold. And if you always follow that, usually you won't cross any water lines or have a water line, the cold on top, and mistake it for a hot, right? Always keep your hots on top is what we do. All right, so we're back in this bathroom where the stack was dropped down. So what we have is we have the stack, the sink runs over, so the stack is venting the sink here. Just ran our water lines up. Toilet is here. I'll show you guys downstairs, but this stack is venting the toilet and the bathtub, as long as the sink. The bathtub installation is here, pretty standard, nothing too fancy. I think the only thing left we have to do here is foam the bathtubs. And this side is all completed. Same valve, this valve, as you can see, it came with PEX. So we had to go to a PEX to Uponor, which we told them it doesn't cover the warranty for the Uponor, but they're aware of that. They're all okay. And we like to bring out our tub spouts with a thread, so with a nipple. The reason for that is if we come out in copper and it is a MIP with the copper, it's a lot harder to adapt. Where in this case, I can show you guys what we do on another video when it comes time to finish, if it is a copper outlet for the tub filler. All right, so we're in the laundry room right now. So what they have here is they have stackable washer and dryers. So this had a little bit of planning here. We actually had to add a sink. They, of course, changes, they added a sink for us. So originally we had just the laundry coming up. Add a sink, so we had to revamp the plumbing. We ended up just bringing one 2-inch up and TYing over for the laundry and then just coming above for the laundry sink. So here in Alberta, we're allowed to wet vent a laundry through a sink. So I don't know, I know some people aren't allowed in different provinces, or maybe you're watching from somewhere else that's not allowed to do this, but here in Alberta, we're allowed to do this. So what we have, pretty basic, just our laundries are going here, and then right beside it is going to be a laundry sink. Yeah, pretty basic, nothing too crazy here. Let's jump into the master. All right, let's jump into the master bathroom. So here we have 2 sinks, pretty self-explanatory. I'll show you downstairs. It's kind of strange how we have the water lines pushed to one side, drainage on the other side, but I'll show you guys why we did that, and that's going to be downstairs. We had to change these sinks. You notice there's a couple extra holes on the floor. Of course, we had them plumbed in, everything was finished, and then they're like, oh, actually everything's changed. So here we are, it's a changing world, right? So we run our vents down. I like to strap them so that there's very minimal play in the vent. Make sure that your vent is coming right above your drainage so it's easy to tie in when it comes time to finish. And I like to put a coupling on my vent here past where, this is in Alberta because we're dealing with freezing temperatures. So they got to poly and insulate and poly this here. So a lot of times what they do is they insulate poly. If we just have our pipe sticking out with our fitting inside of the wall, it's always a pain in the ass to try to get the vent attached to the pipe attached to the fitting when it's inside of the wall. And also sometimes it's like, they use like this black goop or tape or whatever, just kind of gets in the way. It's really annoying. So if you have your coupling sitting just past the drywall, and it's not going to conflict with the fitting dropping down to your drain for your vent. That's the best way to do it, because the drywall is going to come here. You're going to have a fresh fitting here. Nothing's going to be inside of this. No tape, no sealant, no nothing. So it's a nice, easy connection for finish. So there's an island tub here. All these measurements here were done with the builder, so we just followed exactly what they wanted, and we put our island tub. So we like to use an island tub drain, which just screws right to the floor. The tub filler itself is going to be mounted on top of here. So it's a deck mounted tub filler. We have to have this top finished in order to mount our tub filler on. So that's going to be a process down the line. You always got to look out for these things, right? If I was to rough that in now, the tub filler is a finished product. So there's no rough-in, like I know Delta, Moen, Rio Bell, they make rough-ins for these. And then the finish comes on after. This brand that they have here, it's actually a whole finished product. I don't understand why they'd make something like that. I do know that a lot of like deck mounted faucets are very similar to this as well. But again, I just like the idea of having a rough-in, so you could have the rough-in done, you can have everything air tested, and then when it comes time to finish, you just take it apart and put your finish on. But this is what we have to deal with. Here is just the toilet on this side. Here is the master shower. So here what we have is 2 showers, valves, a nice big open shower. They're gonna have glass here, an opening in the middle. They're gonna have a slide bar, a rain head coming out of the top. It's gonna be a curbless shower. So this took a little bit of figuring out to do for the end drain. They weren't sure if they were running a center drain or two drains, one on each side. We ended up just doing a center drain in the back, and they're gonna build this nice trough at the very end there, and all the water is just gonna flow that way into the shower. Showers are Growy valves. Uponor fittings tied right in to the valves. We used the Uponor MIPs onto there. Pretty standard, guys, nothing really crazy to talk about. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. That's it for the top floor. Stay tuned for the main floor, and we'll see you on the next one.